the hospitality industry, along with other economic sectors, are hoping for the COVID-19 restrictions to be relaxed. The South African alcohol and restaurant sectors have allied, if you like, for the lifting of the liquor sales ban, saying many businesses are on the brink of collapse with more jobs currently on the line. The Restaurants Association of South Africa's Wendy Alberts is joining us via our telephone line. Via our video link is the Liquor Traders Council's Ntimane, both sharing their expectations for what's to come. But Ntimane, let me start with you. It's great to have you on the program. Are you hearing anything about how tonight might turn out, or are you in the dark like the rest of us?
Thank you for the opportunity, and good afternoon to Newzroom Afrika viewers at home. Look, we have every reason to believe that the restrictions on alcohol will be relaxed tonight, on the basis that, it's been a month since our people have not been able to support their families. They have not been able to put any food on the table. So we are hopeful that the president will bear with us, will understand our pain, and he will allow us to pick up the pieces and start trading come tomorrow.
What kind of discussions are taking place behind closed doors, if any? Because we are told often when the president speaks that this is after widespread consultations. Have you taken part in any of that? And what's the sense you're getting about what those discussions could yield?
So as the National Liquor Traders, or the tavern sector, as it were, we are yet to have any consultation whatsoever with any government official. We believe that there was a meeting that was convened yesterday by the Minister of DTIC, which he didn't even pitch in his own meeting. But we continue to get support as the liquor traders from the Premier of Gauteng, David Makura, from the Premier of the Western Cape, Alan Winde, as well as the Premier of the Eastern Cape, Oscar Mabuyane. And we are grateful, for those conversations that we're having with them. And I would like to assure our liquor traders that they've got support from those three premiers that I've just mentioned. And we are grateful that, they are on our side. And they really want the economy to open, and we have made commitment, to them, but also to government at large, to say that being given an opportunity to trade means for us that we're going to continue to support government's efforts in ensuring that we fight the COVID-19 pandemic together. This is not only government's fight, but it's a whole society approach that is required for us to be able to win the fight against the COVID-19 pandemic. So we are grateful that those conversations are happening at a premier level. But as it comes to national government, no one wants to talk to us. They are avoiding us, but we don't know why. But we'll keep trying, we'll keep knocking at those doors so that we can have proper consultation with government.
Wendy, let me bring you in, joining us via our telephone line. I mean, restaurants have been able to open for a couple of probably weeks now, at least since the president's last announcement. I wonder, in the absence of alcohol sales, whether that period has made the kind of difference that you need as a sector.
What we've been saying for the last week is that we have extreme disappointment in Minister Patel that he hasn't been able to afford an industry like ourselves any type of respect to have any type of consultation. The last 15 months have really indicated, and especially to me over the last weeks, that the industry has had restrictions and restrictions placed without having any valid data or any supporting data or statistical information. And it's unnecessary to continue to keep us in lockdown. We're confident that the liquor ban will be lifted. We are confident that we will have a return of our dinner time trade. And we certainly, over the last 2 weeks, have made a lot of noise in trying to get the people that make decisions within COCTA and the decisions within various other high-level government meetings to actually understand how frail our business models are and what we need right now to be able to reopen the industry. There's been no compensation. We've been asking, and you will know this conversation, for debt reprieve, for debt amnesty, for debt deferment. We've come up with many, many solutions. And yet again, we engaged with a high-level ministerial meeting with Minister Patel, who couldn't even show courtesy to come to an industry that's bleeding. We sit within the framework. There are decisions that he needs to make, and the actuality of the non-events that he has displayed absolutely no regard to our industry is very concerning. So we are trusting that we'll be able to move forward swiftly and be able to reopen the industry with very little restriction today.
The call it appetite from many of our viewers, at least, who engage with our programming, is that, there's, call it less compassion, less patience for the president's address, because it feels like we're in this perpetual cycle. And I'm only mentioning that because some experts, Wendy, are already speaking about a fourth wave in December, which may very well lead to another iteration of what we've just come from. Are you getting a sense that the conversation is moving forward in any way about how to actually handle alcohol sales in a way, at least, that doesn't cause the kind of impact it does on the sector?
There are so many conversations that need to take place, and, the conversations with the right people aren't taking place. People have a limited understanding what the restaurant industry is built on. They don't understand the financial model, and they don't understand the requirements. You know, we've been treated like food trailers, where we simply are shut down, expected to switch off our lights and park our van without having any responsibilities on the other end. You know, the more we've tried to highlight how it impacts us, and there's been no support from government. For 15 months, they could have turned off the leases, they could have turned off the bank loans, they could have turned off the luxury licenses, which they haven't done. So we go in reverse and we look at the damage that's been done in the destruction. And we call a minister and we say, we have got these solutions. This is what the industry needs. So whilst you haven't given us grants or support on the financial back end, what we certainly do now is let's then have proper conversation. Let's separate alcohol. Let's separate the ability for us to trade our condition. Explain to us where you come with this magical number of 50 that you keep imploding on us. We've got businesses that are 1,000 square meters with beautiful outside areas. We've got wine farms. We've got businesses across the landscape of South Africa that lend itself for better safety protocols than what a shopping centre does or a retail outlet or a supermarket. And yet for the last 14 months we called for this and nobody has been able to present it with us. And I'm going to continue to ask government where this number of 50 comes from because we simply can't trade. You know, you can have a retail outlet with an unlimited amount of people. 50 for us means our staff. You know, and then they cut the curfew without consideration and they're asking us, well, you know, what do we need to trade? You know, with a curfew like that, we can't have essential licenses. We've still got to clean our restaurants. We've got to ensure that we follow safety protocols and we sanitize, that it's safe for people to come in the next day. Our expenses are 1,000 times the revenue that's coming in at the moment, and there just simply isn't enough margin to be able to do it. And then we're sitting, if I just have to try and indicate to you the amount of letters of demand and legal letters our restaurant industry is sitting in, we probably have more letters than we have plates on the table of people looking for their sense of money and for taking back the businesses or reclaiming the businesses. And these should have been taken care of. Minister Patel should have really taken good care of the industry, and he should have looked at these things on the onset and said, how can we support a frail industry like the restaurant industry and look at ways that we could have brought relief and support, that we haven't got a list of more. You know, we talk about, you know, and it's not a comparison, but we talk about businesses that have been destroyed, and we're on 181. Let's just take the restaurant list. We're sitting on more than 1,000 restaurants on the list of fatalities. At what point in time are you going to step in and show the same consideration you're showing for all other businesses that have been damaged, but you have no consideration and care for the restaurant industry? And I'm going to continue to knock on Minister Patel's door. I'm going to continue to knock on President Ramaphosa's doors, and we need to be compensated for the losses that's happened. And those beautiful restaurants who have lost their businesses, we need to find ways to reopen it if it's not too late. We need to bring back the beautiful people who are sitting on unpaid layoffs. You know, the reality is that there isn't enough margins to be able to support the people, and TERS is running out again. So now we start again with the conversations as we move into further restrictions of supporting our people yet again. You know, we're constantly on the back foot. There's never proper planning. There's inconsistent decisions. April, we could trade. April, our businesses were open. We were serving alcohol. We had a dinner time trade, and we brought the numbers down. So we keep asking, who are the decision makers who are making the presentation on behalf of the restaurant industry in South Africa that is not getting the right messaging across, that is clear on the content of what we need to move through the cycle and to survive the industry.
Of course, like you, to bring you back into the discussion, what underpins the discord is the behavior of South Africans. So much I find from my vantage point still needing to be said about how we can get a South African culture instilled where it wouldn't even be necessary to implement something like an alcohol sales ban, because whether or not alcohol is sold doesn't change how people behave. I'm sure as a sector, this is also a question you're mulling over.
Yes, indeed, but we need to understand that, you know, the bans that we've been subjected to had really no basis in science or even common sense. We've asked government to level with us, to share with us information that give rise to the decisions that they take that lends themselves into us being banned. And we are yet to receive any response from them. But I think, you know, just to echo some of the sentiments that Wendy shared, you know, I think the issue of Minister Patel is really concerning. And we want to be bold and say this, that we do not think this minister really cares about the alcohol industry. We do not think that economic recovery in the alcohol industry is possible with this minister. And we will write to the president to ask for his removal. We do not think it's fit to hold the office that he holds. The economic recovery of South Africa needs a strong leadership. We believe that we do not have it in him. How dare does he think that the industry is going to recover without his intervention? It's been 15 months. He has refused to meet with the industry. Not even once has he met with the industry. That is very concerning for a minister who's only known to cut ribbons. That's the only thing that he excels in. Doesn't want to talk to us. Doesn't want to support us. We've got liquor traders that have got a full month without any income.
Sure.
How are they going to support their families? It's very concerning. But the issue of alcohol abuse and irresponsible usage of alcohol is something that we need to confront. It's not only an alcohol industry issue, but it's a whole society-wide problem that we need to confront. I think what we have done as a country, we have swept this matter under the carpet. It's about time that we confront it. Alcohol abuse needs to be nipped in the bud. We need to communicate the right messaging to our people that alcohol is not a solution to problems, but it's a product that needs to be consumed responsibly. It's a product that when it's consumed responsibly, everyone is happy, the industry is supported, but also we're able to move forward as a country. So there are programs making one. We know that our mother body, aware.org, which is tasked with dealing with the issue of alcohol abuse, has got some programs lined up that's going to be implemented to ensure that to drive the issue of behavioral change that will bring about the much needed responsible usage of alcohol that's required in a country. So this is something that we know we need to confront. We cannot hide, behind this matter any longer. We need to confront it, but at the same time, alcohol doesn't cause COVID. The poverty that the president has set on us is not something that's going to be relieved by banning alcohol, but also we are saying that there is no vaccine for poverty. The president needs to open up alcohol tonight. We need to go back to working tomorrow. We need to be able to unite as a country to confront the challenges that are facing us, including alcohol abuse.
All right. Very loud and clear. Thanks very much indeed for your take to both our guests. That's the Restaurant Association of South Africa's Wendy Alberts joining us via our telephone line. Like Kintimane, as you know, is with the Liquor Traders Association. To both of you, once again, thanks very much indeed.